boundaries in friendships, and our sexiest man alive picks.
On this episode of Simply Necessary Conversations.
All right, so let's jump into trending topics. So I was on Instagram, and I feel like everyone kind of knows who they are, but maybe Lena Waithe. I think everybody knows who Lena Waithe is. But for those that don't know, Cree Summers, popular actress from the 90s.
Freddie from A Different World.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't know what that is, but
they should.
I mean, I know what it is.
My generation will know Freddie from A Different World.
But apparently Cree Summers, Lena Waithe are friends. And they posted a picture on Cree Summers' Instagram, and they were enjoying a little smooch, a goodbye kiss as sisters. At least that's what Cree Summers said in her captions. And she was like, oh, like, you know, no tea, no drama. They're just sisters. So my question is, what are boundaries in friendships and I guess kind of relationships? Because Lena Waithe is married. Like, she's in a relationship. And I don't know what Cree Summers' situation is. But as friends, as female friends, are you allowed to, like, kiss? Is that not?
I personally don't want anybody kissing me on the lips, on the cheeks, unless we are in a relationship, don't kiss me at all. And then when it comes to friendships, I've never kissed a friend. I don't think I've ever kissed a friend on the cheek. I definitely have never kissed a friend on the lips. And if Lena is actually in a relationship, that makes it to me even more inappropriate because, like, why are you kissing? I mean, a kiss on the cheek between friends if you are that type of person, because some people are kissers. I'm not. I'd rather hug than kiss.
I'd rather do nothing.
I'd rather hug than shake hands because I don't know where your hands been. Like, I'm just like, whatever. But it's just weird to me that I don't have those kind of friends that I want to kiss on the lips.
I feel like it's a double standard for women because it's almost like, oh, like, you know, we're so close, we can like do that. But I feel like I would no. I don't think it necessarily matters that y'all are calling each other sisters. I feel like if y'all are in a relationship, especially since like Lena Waithe is gay, so it's not like we're just, you know, straight girlies and we're just having a fun time.
I mean, you got to think about it too. If Lena had been a guy that was in a relationship with somebody else,
exactly,
it would have been inappropriate.
It would have been read in a different
thing.
way. So I feel like, I mean, obviously they know their boundaries, and I'm not judging them because like they close and apparently Cree cool with whoever Lena is married to. But I feel like we would look at it different if it was like a guy and a girl, which I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm getting in other people's business, but I feel like the standard should be the same.
Yeah, if you're in a relationship,
I would feel uncomfortable if I was them.
I mean, if they like it, I love it, but it wouldn't work for me. I would not want, like I said, I don't want to kiss anybody that I'm not in a intimate
unless you're my man. I don't want to what are we smooching for?
And I hate it when I see somebody coming in, like a friend or a family member coming in, and they want to kiss. Like, I don't want your lips on me. I'm sorry.
Okay, the caveat is if you know we tight, then it's fine. Not kissing. Mm-mm. I'm saying, like, if we're close, then you can give me a hug. That's fine. Yeah. But I don't like when people I don't really know like that will go in for the hug. And I'm going to give you like the church side hug, like, you know, leaving room for Jesus. And especially if it's a guy, do not come up full frontal. Oh my God, where my hug? No.
I even think it's weird when people that you're just casually acquainted with want to hug you. It's like, unless there's something, like, unless there's been some beef between us, or unless I see something on you I don't want to get on me or whatever and stuff. But like, I feel weird when people get extra familiar that I'm not that familiar with. Yeah. You know, and then sometimes it's awkward because there have been times when I'll see somebody and I'm not sure, is this someone I should or would hug or not? Because like, I see people from back in the day when I was in school or whatever, and I was cool with them, and especially if we were somewhat friendly, but it's kind of awkward. I'm not sure how to handle it.
Because I feel like there are certain people that they think that you're closer
than what you are.
Because I don't like when people get too familiar, or like even like getting familiar in conversation. Like, don't have people out in the public thinking that we like this and we barely talk to each other. Like, that's kind of weird. Especially like if it's in my case, if it's a guy and you're coming up to me and you're making it seem like we hang out or we talk. Like, no.
People will gaslight the public in certain situations where they'll start talking to you and acting like you're besties or like you're,
and then you start believing it.
I'm like, wait a minute, am I misremembering? Like, did something happen where we became friends and I don't know it?
The type of person that I am, I'm gonna match energy. So if you're acting shady with me, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm not gonna talk to you. But if you're acting super friendly and extroverted, I'm gonna also be super friendly and extroverted. So there's been times where people have come up to me, been acting like we best of friends, and you'll be like, you know them, and I'm like, barely.
Yeah.
I
Same thing with
really
me.
Know them.
Same thing. We've been out, and it's somebody that I know, but like we're not. At least to my knowledge, we weren't friends like that. But I feel like this: I'd rather people be extra positive
I would rather that
than to be negative. So like, if you come in for a hug, unless you've given me reason to like, have an aversion to you, I'll hug you back.
I will
but like,
say,
it's just
there's
weird.
a time and a place. If you see me at the gym, don't hug me.
Yeah. Don't hug me. Yeah. Don't come up for a hug if you're sweaty.
Don't hug me.
Don't come up for a hug if you got something on you, dog hair, cat hair. You just spilled a drink. Like, be mindful of that.
Like if you're dirty, don't.
Yeah. And I hate women that wear lipstick that comes off, that kiss people on the cheek or whatever, and then leave their lipstick on. Like, no, don't do that.
I just feel like it's kind of an invasion of privacy, and you got to know how. I feel like that just comes with knowing how to read a room and having some social awareness.
Yeah. I used to tell my students, I need to be able to do this. Like, unless we're close, like, this is how close you need to get to me. Like, I don't need to know what you have for lunch. Like, I don't need to be so close to you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But I'd rather people be extra friendly than to be shady. But don't kiss me, please. If you ever see me, friends, I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, I know some
unless
people,
you know there's like some pent up sexual tension between the two of us, don't do it.
Trust me, if I want you kissing me, you'll know it.
See, but you're a little bit more bold than I am. Like, I don't think someone would know.
I was extra picky too. When you were a kid, people want to come up and kiss you. Like, I don't know what, child. Yeah, your grandmother used to hate to have to like hold you or watch you in public for me because she was not as outspoken as I was. And if I walked up and saw her letting somebody get too close to you,
no, I don't. And when it comes out, like, kids, obviously, you don't need to touch people's kids. But if you come up to me, like, when I had a dog, before he passed, R.I.P.
Oh, my gosh.
R.I.P. to my dog, because I love him. But before, like, when I would, like, take him out places, or if you come up to me and ask me, like, to pet him, I'm going to tell you no, not out of, like, meanness, just because he would bite.
He's a dog. And I hate when people say, oh, he doesn't bite. It's a dog with teeth. You don't know that?
Exactly.
You don't know that.
And for me, I was always just surprised because why would you come up to me when I have a pit bull Rottweiler mix and ask to pet him?
That was always funny.
If he's going to bite you. Yeah.
Yeah, he might.
And his jaw will probably lock.
And he, bless his heart, did not like strangers.
And I loved it.
Which is why I loved him so much. Because he was very much our dog. He was not.
He was a puppy to the max with me, but hated everybody else.
And he was capable of hurting somebody because I have seen him bite a neck bone. Those of you that eat neck bones, you know how dense they are, how hard. I've seen him eat one like a potato chip.
I've seen him like crack an oxtail bone, like.
That's what I meant. I said neck bone, oxtail bone. That's what it was. When I saw him eat one of those for the first time, it's like, no, you can't pet him because I don't know.
The one unfortunate time where he was outside and got hold of a stray cat.
Shh, nobody knows about that.
And I hope that was nobody's cat because I felt bad.
Nobody knows. Because we don't know.
I mean, Mom, this was like 5 years ago.
I know, but I don't know.
If your cat is still missing 5 years ago, you are over it by now. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Bless that.
I hope the cat survived. So let me put y'all on to a movie that I haven't even watched yet, but I'm going to support because of what I'm going to say.
Because it's Marvel.
Because it's Marvel and because it's the first Marvel movie directed by a Black woman. And I just stumbled across the article the other day and I was just like, why is nobody talking about this? Some of it was because of the actor strike that was going on and they couldn't talk about it. But now that's over and, there's a lot more publicity going on. I don't want to mispronounce her name, but I think her name is Nia DaCosta. And she's the first Black woman to direct a Marvel film. The Marvels, for y'all that don't know, it's a loose sequel based on Captain Marvel. And I can go on a whole nerd rant about how much I love Marvel and how much I love the movies. Mm-hmm. I am going to go see it. So hopefully it's, exceeds my expectations. But it also is going to star all female superheroes and the first female villain for a major MCU
There's a female villain. I did not know that.
So it's just a woman-led, woman empowerment type moment. Like, you know that scene, and I think it was in Endgame, when all the women came together to fight. It's like, it's going to be like that, but like, it's going to be a whole movie. Okay. And it's a very diverse cast. Like, I forget the girl's name that plays Miss Marvel. If you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus. But it's all about like her being like Indian and having to navigate like being closely tied to her family and also being the superhero. And there's like cool like Bollywood style scenes that like, you know, it was very culturally infused. So anyway, it's a women-led movie and it's very diverse and I'm super excited to see it. And I just love that even though I miss the old MCU, that stands for Marvel Comic Universe or Marvel Cinematic Universe. My apologies. I miss the old MCU. I feel like the new MCU is very much like about women-led films, diversity, like Black Panther, and
I'm all for that, but I'll just say ever since they killed Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, I just haven't felt the same.
We had to bring that up.
Yeah.
We had to bring up that Iron Man is dead.
Yeah.
No, at the point that Iron Man died.
I'm sorry if anybody hadn't seen the movie, but you're way too late.
If y'all haven't seen it by now, we talking like, what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, but that, I mean, I don't know what.
Or no, that's not 6 years ago.
I don't understand why they decided to do that simply because, okay, if he didn't want to do the next movie, he didn't have to do the next movie, but don't kill him because then that means he can't come back except in flashbacks, and that's corny.
There's this thing called the multiverse. So technically,
even that, I don't like it.
Anybody that's dead isn't really dead. But my personal favorite like arc was the Infinity Stones. That ate down. Yeah. The multiverse is a little bit confusing to me. Like Doctor Strange kind of was a miss for me.
Yeah.
Loki is a good series.
I like Doctor Strange though. I like.
No. I mean like the second one, not the first one.
Okay, I don't even kind of remember the second.
Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Wanda died.
That was it. Was a little bit weird.
It was off brand, I feel. Like the multiverse is doing a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of series that you have to follow to fully understand what's going on.
And for those people that are way late, if this is a spoiler for you, I'm sorry. But even when they let Angela Bassett's character die in Black Panther, like who did that?
I forgot that even happened, and I'm still mad because why? Like,
did they make her mad and she decided she never want to deal with them again? Like, who?
But I will say, whoever decided to do the dream sequence with Killmonger and bring him back.
Oh no,
thank you.
Yeah, that was good.
Because I was in the movie. I literally went to see that movie by myself. The first time I ever saw a movie by myself because everybody had already seen it. Anyway, I went to see the movie by myself, and I was just sitting there chilling, and I thought, because the way they posed that scene, I thought it was going to be her mom. Mm-hmm. And when that chair turned, I said, "Thank you, Jesus! Oh my God, my man!" But anyway, that's a whole side rant. Yeah. But talking about my man, and talking about diversity, People Magazine always does Sexiest Man Alive.
Yeah,
and majority of the time, it's always a white man. Now, don't get me wrong. They're still sexy, but Essence made another version and it was all Black men. So now I feel like we should make a version of our own for Something Necessary Conversations of our Sexiest Man Alive picks.
2 of my picks are already on their list. They were accurate in their selection of METHOD. Oh my gosh, Method Man.
Oh, you mean Essence? I thought you meant people.
No, the Essence list. So Method Man. Okay, let's just talk about his attributes. This man is...
His attributes?
Yes. This man is very tall. I believe he's like 6'4", 6'5". Loves a tall man.
He's 6'4"?
I believe he's 6'5", actually.
He's 6'5"?
I'm not sure. Google it. But yeah, loves a tall man. He has a handsome face. He has nice hair. He has nice teeth. I am a tooth snob. Like, I like people that take care of their teeth. And he's also a creative. He looks so good.
He's 6'3".
In a suit. Okay, I'll take it. But yeah.
And he's also been married since 2001.
I'm not trying to be a homewrecker. I'm talking about liking to look at the man.
Okay. So he's also younger than you by a year.
A year?
Yeah, anyway, a whole year.
Anyway, so I like that he was on the list. Lorenz Tate was my other selection from their list. Okay. Have been in love with Lorenz Tate since South Central when he was on that TV show, which a lot of people may not even remember because it was on for such a short time, but it was too real for people, so they took it off. I believe it was on CW.
But you know, like my favorite romance movie.
And then he was in Love Jones, which is probably the best Black rom-com out there. I don't even know if it's a rom-com or not.
I wouldn't consider it comedy. I would consider it just romance.
Just a romance? Okay, well, anyway, he he was that dude in that movie.
Him stalking homegirl and pulling up at her house. I was like,
honey, I was Nia Long all day in that movie. Like, I just became Nia Long just long enough to get through that movie because that was one of the best romance movies. And we saw him in person at the American Black Film Festival.
Yeah. And he looks exactly the same.
And he looks the same. He talks the same. Seems to have good morals, good values, loves
very
his
much
wife.
A family man.
When that man said he does not let his sons disrespect his wife because she was his wife before she was their mother. Honey, I'm thinking to myself, God bless you. Yo,
we literally went to like a men's talk just so you could see Morris Chestnut and Lorenz Tate.
And Lorenz Tate was, he I just wish we could clone him. That's all.
Oh my God.
He's not as tall as Method Man, but I will take him.
But his charisma, his swag makes up for his height.
And he seems to just be a regular person. Like, he doesn't seem to be full of himself. He's been famous for a long time. Loves his wife. Talks about fatherhood. He's close with his kids. Like, everything I want.
Okay, so mine. I have a long list, y'all. Y'all know I call everyone my husband. If you don't know, now you do. But all of mine are like very like from romance movies. But let's just start off by.
Wait, before you start,
what?
I must shout out Lakeith Stanfield.
Hey, you're stealing my pick.
Because I knew you were about to do it.
You're stealing my pick. You're no. That's my man.
I picked him first, y'all.
That's my man.
Go ahead.
I think we closer in age than you and him.
I don't care. I still just love his vibe.
Anyway, she's trying to. He was literally on my list.
I know. I knew you were gonna say it. That's why I wanted to say it first, so people don't think I was just co-signing.
No. So Michael B. Jordan. We just talked about Killmonger. That is my certified celebrity crush. My car is named Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
I will admit, I have never seen the Creed movies. I got to get on that because like he's like half naked for like half the movie.
Oh my god!
But I fell in love with him as Killmonger. That's when I first was like, who is this attractive man? Like, but anyway, so Michael B. Jordan. I hope his heart has mended from that girl that he was seeing.
Anyway,
so then next we got on the list Kofi. I don't know how to say his last name. I don't want to mispronounce it, but he's literally an African prince. Like, I'm not even joking.
I know who you're talking about.
And he's also been in a lot of romance movies. I forget the name of the movie that I think it's called Real Love. I think it's on Netflix. It's a very artistic, like black love story. And it's very like realistic. It was a very well put together, well done movie. And it seemed more like an indie film versus like a major motion picture or whatever. And he was like very like, he's an attractive man. Mm-hmm. And then we got Keith Powers, my man. He was in the most recent movie that I saw that he was in was with Gabrielle Union, The Perfect Fine. Also,
I haven't seen that yet.
It's a really good
I'm gonna watch that
movie.
this weekend, I think.
It's a really good romance movie, also on Netflix. It's basically about him like falling in love with her. There's an age gap. There's like,
don't tell it because I'm
not
watch
okay.
it.
Well, anyway, he's fine. He's in something else that I watched and I can't remember, but like he played a good like romantic character, so I love him for that. And then the one that you just stole from me, the Keith Stanfield, and he was in the movie. Oh my God, the movie with Issa Rae. What is the name of it?
The Photograph.
Another good.
I didn't think anybody could come close to Love Jones because that's
the Photograph was good.
But the Photograph, I was like, okay, somebody's trying to bring it back. Somebody's trying to do
it was
Love
so
like
movie. The cinematography was good. The storyline was good. It was just romantic.
A good plot, yeah.
And it wasn't super long. It wasn't drawn out. Like, it was a good
And it wasn't unrealistic. That's what I liked about both Love Jones and The Photograph. They weren't unrealistic plots. And if you're a black woman and you ever dated a black man that was kind of wishy-washy, undecided, and needing a moment to gather himself and get himself together, you will understand and appreciate both those movies. Like, it doesn't always work out perfectly.
What is that movie?
The guy that I did not say on my list, what's the guy that played opposite of Issa Rae on Insecure? Him. He needs to be added to the list.
I forget his real name. Yeah. But yes. Okay, so y'all got assignments, podcast family. Watch Really Love, watch Perfect Fine, watch The Photograph, watch Love Jones if you want like a really good black romance movie. Like, I love rom-coms of any kind, but I especially love when I get to see black love play out because it's just so beautiful. Mm-hmm. So, talking about like all of that, we're going to go on to our Ask a Gemini. And our Ask a Gemini this time is, what childhood toy would you still play with as an adult?
Well, I love miniatures. Like, I love miniatures. Like, so doll houses, and I don't need the dolls. I just like the house and the furniture. The more detailed, the better. I love that I kept your dollhouse and all of the furniture, because at one point in time, in case you don't remember, maybe you do, every birthday, every Christmas, we would furnish a different room because it was one of the bigger doll houses.
Oh my God, we did do that.
So like every birthday, every Christmas,
I forgot that was a thing.
until we had it all decked out. We had the camping, we had the cars, all of that. I love miniatures, so I was happy that you liked to play with doll houses, because that and Legos. You never had a light bright, I don't think, but
what is a light
do you
bright?
even know what a light bright is? Okay, you got to be a child of the 70s. So I would play with a light bright. There's a couple of kids' toys that I would still play with. And sometimes you need to do that kind of stuff just to get away from the crazy. I like playing with
like my baby cousins and stuff just because it's fun. Like,
that's
and
one of the
they're so
benefits of having
imaginative.
Kids. Yeah, when you have kids.
Having kids.
Yeah, I'm saying you get to do.
Oh, I thought you were saying I should have kids. I was like, what?
No, you get to do things that kids do and not get the side eye from people when you have kids. So that was one of my favorite things about being a mom, was getting to go back and introduce you to things that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Sesame Street, the Electric Company, all the PBS shows and stuff. Like, and people don't judge you because you're watching it with your kid. But yeah, there's a lot of kids' toys that I think I would. I mean, not like just routinely, but just every now and then.
I think for me, I love Legos. Like, I love the Lego movie. Like, I will, every Lego movie that comes out, I will sit and watch it.
I love that movie too.
It's really cute, and I just love the animation style. Like, even when I was watching Across the Spider-Verse and they had the little Lego section of the movie, I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. Anyway, I love Legos, so I probably would still play with Legos if like I had the time. But I feel like that's not even a kid's thing.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of adults that play with Legos. There are people that literally, especially the ones that work for Legoland and for like Disney and stuff, that build Lego models and stuff. Like,
you know how Abbott Elementary, there's the episode where old boy buys the Lego thing as a date, like they're gonna build the Lego thing together. Mm-hmm. I would love to do that. I want to do like a little Lego day, and we build like, I don't know, like the Millennium Falcon or something.
If you are in California at Disneyland, I don't know if it was going to be a permanent thing.
No, that was for Star Wars Day.
But for Star Wars Day, we helped build the Lego sculpture. Like, we actually,
I think it was like a Lego Yoda or something.
Yeah, we contributed to that. I have a certificate stating that.
We have the picture of the certificate.
And everybody else was doing theirs and just sitting it down. I handed it to the man. It's like, I need to see you put this up there.
And he looked at you like,
but he indulged me. I was like, I need to see you put my Lego so that I can say I helped build that.
But I love Legos. And this isn't like a toy, but a childhood thing that I wish I could still do is, or which you kind of can, but like, I can't wait till when I have kids in the very, very, very far away future.
Far away.
Is I want to do all the little kiddie rides at the theme parks. Because y'all know I'm a theme park girl.
Yeah.
And I want to get on the little rides and like go to Legoland and get on the little Legos. Legoland. But like get on the little rides and like just like the little kid stuff. Like, I love thrill rides, but I feel like the little kid stuff is just so cute. And then like just seeing like the childlike joy doing things like that. Or if it's not a theme park and it's not a toy, I want to go to that place where I forget what it's called. It's called different things in different areas of the country, but where you go and you pretend to be an adult and you go in the little city. And there's like a whole, the places where there's like a whole little, I forget what it's called. There's a whole little city and you like go around and you pick a career and then you operate.
I have never heard of whatever you're talking about.
Mom, yes, you have. There was a place I think in Orlando that used to do it.
You're going to have to find
at the Exploration V place, how they had the little grocery store set up.
You do know that's Exploration 5.
Yeah, I did. I know my Roman numerals. What are you talking about?
I think it's 5 because there's 5 of them across the country.
Whatever.
I think. I'm not sure about that.
But you know how they had a little grocery store? It's like that. But like there's a whole place you go, you pick a career. Like say you want to be a doctor. You pick the career as a doctor. Then you like have to go to work. You work as the doctor in the little play area. You earn money. Then you can go and you can spend the money.
You're going to have to show me that.
Oh my God. But no. And there's another place. And then a trampoline park. I want to go to a trampoline park. Because it just looks fun. Like it just looks like a really good time.
There's a lot of say you need to stay in touch with your childhood because life adulting is a bad word. So yeah, every now and then you need to do something
just like
fun.
childlike, just being stupid. Like I feel as long as you're being safe and you're not doing anything crazy, just like being a little bit wonky. And like the other day I was in Tripora's car, or what am I saying the other day? Last night I'm in her car and we were bored out of our minds. Like nothing was going on. Everybody was busy. Like it was like a Thursday night. Nothing was really popping. So on my way back to her house while we're driving, she's like, okay, I'm going to put my liked songs on shuffle. And then you're going to ask a question, and it's going to be like the Great 8 Ball or whatever. And whatever the song is, that's the answer to the question. So we would be like, oh, like, are we about to get in serious relationships soon? And then we like put the thing on shuffle, and then it'll do something like pain. Like what? Literally, I asked the question, and it was like a deep question. I was like, am I going to do blah, 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 blah? And it was like Pain, 1993 by Drake. I was like, oh. Okay.
Let's hope that's inaccurate.
Hopefully this isn't no premonitions or anything. But like just doing stuff like that, I feel like is important. And just being in touch with your youth and knowing, because I feel like if you don't know how to be a kid as an adult, when you have kids, you're not going to know how to let them be kids.
I hate when I see adults with kids that don't know how to relate to their kids. And don't tell me, oh, I'm so much older and that's why. Like, you still got a kid inside. Yeah. I hate to see parents that can't get down to their kids' level, because that is one of the best things to do for your kids. Like, identify with them, color with them, play with them. I try to do all of that, honey, because that's why you had
a fabulous childhood.
Like you had a whole. If I had a kitchen, you had a kitchen. If I had a vacuum, you had a vacuum. Like I made sure that you knew that I was engaged in.
And also, I feel like too, while we're looking back at like, oh, we're adults and like, what about childhood, whatever. I think it's important, especially in this generation, because I was on the cusp of like being an internet kid, but I was born in 2002, so like there were no iPhones. Like I wasn't ingrained in that whole thing until I got into like middle school, and then I wanted to be online and play the games and talk to people, whatever. But now I'm seeing with like little kids, they're being so grown so fast.
Everybody's just handing them a phone
because they're on TikTok and they looking at Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice. And they're not looking at Choo Choo Soul, Genevieve.
You didn't see anything that wasn't G, maybe PG, until you got to be a tween. And I was very selective. I wanted you to stay a child as long as you could stay a child. And these people that are just throwing in the towel and handing kids a phone, or throwing in the towel and letting them listen to, watch, be involved with anything and everything, you're going to pay for that.
Like, I feel like kids are mean to grown, like even when it comes to what they're wearing, what they're listening to, how they doing their hair. When I was a little girl, I had the little pigtails, the ponytails, and the little hair barrettes and the ribbons, and I looked my age. Not like the other day I visited you, and then obviously high schoolers are a little bit different, but the other day I visited you at work, UC High School, and like I'm there. And I felt like I didn't look grown enough because the kids look so grown. Like I'm 21, and I feel like I look like I'm in middle school based on what some of these kids are like wearing and how they're talking. And I will say I didn't hear them cussing no teachers out, so that's progress.
It was after school.
I guess that's true. Yeah. But like I feel like they just look and exude like. They're growing up too fast,
and it's so sad because they don't realize it. Like, they're not conscious of it, but they are growing up way too fast, and they're not getting to be children. And then sadly, they're growing up fast. They're getting all kinds of information or whatever stuff. And then nobody's filling them in on the things that they need to know, like the things that they should know. They don't know history. They don't know how democracy works. Like, they don't know the important things that they need to be taught, but they know all the pop culture, social media, adult stuff.
And
it's too much.
I could go on a academic rant about this, I guess, but I really blame like filter bubbles, because and this doesn't even just apply to kids, but we're talking about kids right now. They're just seeing everything that they want to see all the time. And I feel like it creates, like, it's going to be a generation of kids that are selfish, a generation of kids that aren't self-aware about other people's problems.
It's the dumbing down of the country, and it's happening through the education system, the lack of information that's provided to these kids. They're cutting because they have to test so much. That's part of the problem. So you're teaching to test, so you're only teaching specific skills. There's no room to let's start a topic and see where it takes us. Yeah. That does not exist anymore. And so these kids are just given the bare basics so that they can pass tests. But there is no critical thinking, even though they try to pretend with standards and benchmarks that they are teaching the critical thinking skills. No, they are being schooled but not educated. There's a lot of schooling without education actually taking place, and that is very scary to me. Even with books being online, that sounds like a good concept. Okay, if you're not at school, you can access your book online, but books can be easily altered if they are not in a printed version.
Now, as somebody that recently is now done with school, me in elementary, middle, high school, where I actually had to have the physical books, and we didn't have Chat GPT, and we didn't have being able to in college, you will learn how to do, I think it's Control F, and find on a page exactly what you're looking for. We didn't really have to read a lot of the material that we were assigned to read because technology is so advanced now. Realistically, you didn't have to use skill. Like when we had to do a bibliography or works cited page, we had to physically do that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going on easy. And so now citation, just some basic. And so it all the shortcuts, which are great in that there's a lot more information that's accessible to people, but not having to research, not having to look things up has kind of numbed people's brains. So even you were an honor student, you graduated from college early, all of that. So I would consider you academically intelligent, and you're my daughter, so I can say this without, somebody saying, you didn't get nearly the education that I got. Even though you got all this technology, all this extra information, you might have in your whole high school years read 12 books, probably, maybe a little bit more than that. I read 12 books my senior year. And that's crazy to me. Like for 4 years of high school, we read the same number of books that I read in 1 year of high school. I got a closet that is full of novels and books and whatever and stuff. I read all of them. The stuff that they're cutting out now, the argument is the kids don't have the attention span to read a book. It's like, so we're going to get into that?
I feel like, too, it's just, you being like an English teacher, I feel like the focus is less on English and it's more about math and science because people see math and science as what makes money because everyone wants to be a computer scientist or a doctor or a nurse, which is great because we need those people.
But guess what?
I feel like low-key society is pushing computer science because computers and internet and technology
STEM is, STEM everything.
Which is cool,
if you can't
but I feel like you need
read and
comprehend,
you might know how to fix machines and use machines or whatever and stuff, but you need some comprehension and reading skills.
I feel like while we're advancing in knowledge in academia a little bit, we're not advancing in creativity and actually being able to conceptualize things in a rational way.
I think kids are being stunted. I think adults have been it didn't just start with your generation. It started probably back with my generation, but it just has accelerated to the point that it's everything is microwave. There's no slow cooking in terms of education. Everything is microwave. Learn these things and everybody's learning these same things. And that's it. And it's kind of scary to me because those kind of people are easily manipulated, easily tricked. Thus our current political environment. Somebody said, we're not going to name him, but somebody said that he loved the undereducated. and he said that, he's notorious for saying the quiet part out loud. He loves the undereducated. And he has, I think, co-conspirators out there in the world that's helping to produce more undereducated people.
I think that's the government's goal in general. If you actually think about it,
you're easier to control. We're not gonna get into all my conspiracy theories.
But anyway, on to something lighter. The skills that we actually need to know in life. Gemini gems.
Okay, so mine is we're kind of in the hollow part is over. The Thanksgiving Christmas season is here. So there's going to be a lot of cooking and carrying on. So one of my tips is if you are cooking something, especially if it's something like a stew or you're boiling something, whatever, and you accidentally over salt it, you put too much salt in the water and you can tell, then one trick you can try is cutting up slices, big slices of potato and drop it in the water and it will absorb some of the sodium out of the liquid. So hopefully it will help repair your dish, whatever it is. So add a potato, add something starchy that's edible to it that's not going to take away from the flavor of it to absorb some of the excess salt if you oversalt something.
Okay, so while y'all are getting ready to cook, you also have to look good when you come to Thanksgiving dinner and when you go to your Christmas gatherings. So I'm going to offer a couple beauty tips just because y'all need to be put on. The first is if you have brown eyes, wear blue eyeliner, as I'm doing right now, because it gives you a little bit of pop of color. And I'm not an eyeshadow type girl. I don't have the energy to figure all of that out. So I like to do eyeliner to just brighten my face a little bit so it's not all just one color. Also, a tip that I learned from Zendaya a long time ago when I was just on the internet and I was watching her do an interview, rose water. And I forget the name of the brand, but it's like a rose water spray. So if I'm not wearing makeup, I'll spray rose water just to like, brighten my face and kind of rejuvenate it so it's not dry or whatever throughout the day. And even if I'm wearing makeup, if I want a dewy look versus a matte look, I'll like do my makeup, put my setting spray, and then I'll put rose water, and it'll kind of give you like that dewy, natural, like, oh my God, where is she going type of situation. And last but not least, if you want your hair to be a little bit healthier and you want to actually protect your hair from heat, like let's just say you ran out of your favorite heat protectant, you don't have your favorite spray, your favorite serum, whatever, grapeseed oil is a natural heat protectant. Now, I'm not a cosmetologist, so if y'all burn your hair, it's not my fault. But I've used in the past, if I just have to touch up my hair and it looks a little bit dry and I want to add shine, grapeseed oil also is very good for your skin and your nails. And that's it. So thank y'all all for watching. Hopefully y'all will come back. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Period.